Okay, right. So, just a bit of general information before we do Class 1A. I'll do both videos together. It's to do with this, I guess, a couple of things. No employees do not get any tax relief for their contributions. Um, employers, yes, can deduct their Class 1A contributions from their profit as tax. So the key point here is you can't go and do in your self-assessment, whatever your deduction is, put it through as an expense. No, you cannot. Employers, I mentioned this 3,000. 3,000 per employer. So an employer can use 3,000 every year towards as I guess tax relief, really, as a deduction, an allowable deduction against the class 1 employer NIC, if you like, for the year, right? So not class 1A, not class 1A. Employers pay class 1A, but they cannot use this 3,000 towards class 1A, right? And it says that it is not available to companies where the director is the sole employee. So this sort of personal service companies where you have just one person, no, you can't use that. It won't work. We'll see an example where we get to apply this. In terms of payment dates, it's, if you like, it says here, the thing is, I think we talked about this in class. Chris might have mentioned this. So you have the 19th of each month. Technically, in the exam, they want you to use the electronic payment, which is the 22nd. So, for example, if the end of the whatever the month is, of course, say 31st of December, you technically have till the, well, when I say you operate from the 4th of January as the tax year, tax month end, so to speak, right? Not really the whatever the Gregorian whatever month end. That is your tax month end, and then you have 14 days from the end of that tax month. So the 14 days technically take you to the 19th of each month, right? But if you're doing it electronically, you're allowed to the 22nd. So hopefully we will look for ways to use this to remind each other that it's the 22nd of the month, if you like, that we pay this. So that's just a date thing that you will have to remember. So then let's move on to class 1A very quickly. Because I want us to do this example, but it's not too tricky. Class 1A paid by employers on the value of taxable benefits. So all those benefits we talked about. Typically, of course, as you can imagine, your car benefits, your fuel benefits, maybe your expensive living benefits, and your medical insurance. Just whatever it is that's not in cash, if you like. All those benefits get class 1A at 13.8% on the entire value. So there's no sort of threshold, right? And the rules again are slightly different. Class 1A NIC needs to be paid annually by the 19th of July following the end of the tax year. And this deadline is extended to the 22nd of July. So you kind of almost have to remember those. I don't know. I mean, like, I guess it's always looking for little clues if you like to remember they are. But I guess the closest thing, I guess, is the actual themselves. This is the 19th. This is the 22nd. Technically, there's some 19th and 22nd here, but it's the, if you like, July following the end of the actual tax year. I don't know. So it's just you remembering this. There are not many marks, so don't kill yourself. Don't knock yourself if you don't remember the day. But if you, as you keep practicing, you might see that again. Okay, let's hit the example and let's see what's going on here. So is by not and receives a salary of 25,000. During the tax year, he receives the following benefit. He gets a car benefit, so that's class 1A, definitely. Fuel benefit, that's class 1A. Medical insurance, that's class 1A. And vouchers exchangeable for goods, no. I explained how this is technically cash. So this will be assessed under the class 1 employees, and added on to whatever it is you're getting as your salary. So think of this as money, salary. Let's get here. So all, yes, will get assessed at straight up 13.8%. So if I add all these together, this takes me to 8 grand, 8,000 times, and that takes me to 1104. I think the question says to me, what is the due date for payment? So if my tax year is 2017-18, that's the 5th of April, 2017. So I'm looking at the 22nd of July. 5th of April 2018. That's the year end. So I'm looking at the, if you like, payment date 22nd of July 2018. Cool. That is class 1A. Class 1A. Let me see what's next. Maybe it's a different topic. I sort of done it there. Let's see what else. Okay, great. No, that's the end. I want to keep it short, and then we'll do example 4 in the next video. Thank you.